Helios.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, sir.
I know it's a flower cup, but that's okay.
I got the cool cup.
I don't.
Helios batteries all the way.
I got the cool hat.
Yeah, I got a cool hat too.
Mm-hmm.
Representing.
Yeah, you have a cool shirt.
Yeah, look at us. Weirdos.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Of course, it's a cold morning here where we are. It snowed a bunch yesterday, so that obviously means build season is upon us. So that's
I love
great.
build season.
Yeah, me too. It's a great time of year. So here we are. What else is going on? The surroundings are a bit different.
We have acquired GCM mobile office.
We have. We did that, what, last week, I guess? Last weekend?
Yeah. Drove down.
We picked up, what do we call this?
Beethoven.
Beethoven. So we picked up an RV.
Yep.
And here we go. Now we'll be traveling even further and farther next year.
It's pretty exciting, actually, because there's a bunch of stuff we wanted to do that we haven't been able to get to. Mm-hmm. Some camping-only places out west and things like that, that just make it harder for us on the east side to actually get to them. Mm-hmm. So
here we are.
I think we have the opportunity now. The video lighting is a little different.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, I wonder if we turn this off, if that'll help.
I don't know.
Does that help?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I think it might be a little better, actually.
Look, I can see my face better. I don't know if that's a good thing, though.
You can't see the trucks as well.
Well, that's not a good thing.
Right.
So I think the premise of this video is just give us an update. I also would maybe want to talk about what was 2018. Maybe we can get into a bit of 2018 and talk about the recap of 2018 and then maybe a bit of an update and get into 2019 and that kind of stuff. So
tell me, from your remembrance, what did we do that was new for GCM in 2018?
I think for me, one of the highlights was K&K. I really enjoyed going to K&K. It was something that we wanted to go to, something that of course we knew about, and we're good friends with the Kirbys, and they always encouraged us to go. And then of course we went, and there's video of us there. So if you want to check the channel, but just now looking retrospectively on it, it was amazing. I really had a good time. So that was one of my true highlights for the 2018 season. I really enjoyed that. And of course, I had the privilege being a vintage guy with Tamiya and the likes. Mike Kirby has quite the collection. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Yourself, what were some of your peak moments of last year?
Peak moments of 2018. One of the events that I went to that was new in 2018 was Beat the Creek, just a little bit southeast of Cincinnati, in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I had a really good time there. Of course, met a lot of the central U.S. sort of people that came from far and wide to go to Joe Hauke's farm and go to Beat the Creek. That's what we did.
Now, was this the spot where you were in a barn and you actually went up?
Crazy.
Yeah, can you just describe that to me again? Because when you told me that first time, I was like, what are you talking about? So this is pretty unique, this event.
Joe and actually his whole team, the whole family, they really like doing scale diorama kind of, but competition-ish. So what they did is they took their big hay barn and they emptied it, and then they made a chicken wire net trail that went all up and around the barn, like 3 stories high.
Oh my goodness.
But you're not there.
So you're sitting on the floor.
You're on the ground
like
level in the barn. And I was just like, oh, I can't tell if it's... It was tough sometimes, and I drove the Traxxas Bronco up there and made it down, but every now and then you would hear stories of people from years gone by that had been through the barn when it even wasn't that high, and had vehicles come off, and then, you know, when they land at the bottom of the barn, there's no vehicle left. It's just, you know, bent frames and everything. Like, I mean, it's a real challenge. If you have to mentally decide you're going to maybe lose your truck forever.
Wow. Well, of course, I didn't get to go to that, and after hearing that, man, it sounds like such a great event. So I would love to do that. Any other highlights? I actually, before you say that, I have to sort of back up a bit. Of course, East Coast Scale Challenge was something that we frequent many years and love, and with Matt Lockwood and company taking care of that, it's been great. But of course, we had an opportunity to go somewhere special that weekend, which I have to say isn't a highlight for me. We went to the Fireball Motors, and so Matt came up to us and he says, well, he had said to you, I think, he says, I got somewhere we need to go, and wouldn't tell us, right? And so we got there, and he says, well, if you find time, we'll go. And of course, Saturday afternoon at about 2 o'clock, he's like, okay, you know, things are happening, but things are going well, so let's go. And I'm like, okay. And so we hopped in the van, and away we went, and we ended up at this Fireball Motors, and it is a dealership that Joe Fire, and that's the guy's name, he goes around and he finds old farm trucks from California, Western United States, Oregon, that kind of stuff, and he brings them back to Pennsylvania or Ohio. He's just on the border, and it literally was all of the vehicles one-to-one that we were doing at the event. Like
all the RCs were there in full size. In
full size, and you know, in all types of condition,
crazy,
from rough to refurbished. It was amazing, and it was like looking at your 1/10 or 1/9 vehicle and then seeing it full size. So that again for me was another highlight to be able to go there and see that was really neat. And of course, there's more to that story, which we'll talk about at a later date. We'll do sometime next year. This is what I can say. Sometime next year, we'll do a 1-to-1 and a 1/10 rig review. That's all I'll say. Anyways,
that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. What other? I just had to put that out there.
Yeah.
What other highlights did you like of 2018?
Well, you know, 2018 is not even over for me. And the good news is that the RC events are winding down, so we can get into build season.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of my favorite parts of this hobby.
Yeah, me too. I
love seeing everybody. I love traveling to the competitions. I love being involved in that. I love making, you know, little dioramas for our show booths and stuff sometimes. I love going to Ultimate Scale Truck Expo. That's so different from the competition, like a Team KNK Hardware's event, where you're really trying to compete. It's real competition, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the difference of events.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite time of year.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you on that. I love to build, you know, sort of get into your nesting, you know, your little spot and start building and have your space to build.
Yeah.
And of course, I go to as many events as I can, but and I compete and trail and stuff, but not to the extent that you do. I find I go and you know, sit behind the booth, that kind of stuff. But so it really sort of caters to I like competition, but I really like building, and that's where I sort of get honed my skill and enjoy. So yeah.
Yeah. To segue into these two.
Oh yes.
This is your 2014 early skeleton, right?
Yeah, or prototype skeleton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think 2014.
Wow, has it been that long?
I know. Can you imagine?
2018, 2019. Sorry. A few more gray.
I know.
Sorry, but I love. Sometimes on my feed, some of the old videos will show up. And Chris looks like he's 12.
I know, it's so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a 2014 build with one of the original skeletons, and it's up for sale.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So I've got a few here. I've got Colonel Mustard and and one of the original builds that's up for sale. So if anybody's interested, just put a comment in and we'll talk. So yeah.
I think it's your fault, actually, that I'm doing interiors and actually caring about the inside of the truck now.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you know that I was pretty sketchy on the scale detail there for a really long time. I'm a chassis guy.
Yeah.
I like the mechanical side. I like paying attention to the technical details and the geometries and all that stuff. That's kind of where my brain is geared, right? And you've sort of forced me to, you know, do better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's a good marriage.
It's a pretty exciting thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So now we're here. We're in the new RV. We're loving this concept. we picked it up. This thing is amazing. So wait till next year when you start to see this pulled up. We'll have to put a few GCM stickers on the bumper just so you know it's us.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is exciting. I'm excited for what's new. But what are some of the other updates that we've got that we want to talk about?
You know what surprised me the most about 2018 as far as GCM store goes is that we've been selling a lot of factory built chassis.
Okay.
I didn't know that was going to happen. We started offering it because every now and then somebody would send a mail or a message to the store and say, hey, I want to build this particular rig. I don't want to miss any parts. I don't want to miss anything in the build. So what can you give me an exhaustive list of everything that I need? Because I don't want to miss anything. I'm just going to buy all the parts. I want to sit down at my build bench and know that it's all there. And more times than not, you know, we've said, hey, well, we have everything. Because we build trucks extensively here, so we have all the bits and pieces that you will need. Would you like us to just assemble the whole thing? Like, we can do that, and then you know that nothing's been missing. We call that factory built.
Okay.
It's been something that I didn't know was going to take off, but we've had a pretty significant number of customers that have requested or just bought from the website the factory built trucks. And for example, Skeleton 2, which is now not available on the website, but it is a factory built option. And we debuted that at the North Carolina Expedition event, this one, in October, and have been selling Skeleton 2s ever since, and they're only factory built. The Bronco kits, this is the James Duff radius arms and full-scale drivetrain, mounts, bumpers, everything. When these are factory built, it's ready for the MFAB Bronco body. Pretty amazing. And I've actually seen guys use this chassis on different bodies. So it's a legitimate scale truck option for guys who want to make sure that it's all there. You know, we tune them, we mount everything, we make sure that everything's fitting and none of the hardware is missing. You know, it's all that kind of like story just to make sure it's all there. The XJ Jeep factory built. This has the optional Shapeways 3D printed fenders and side sliders and stuff on it. But this is an XJ kit that we would sell in our store, only now factory built with full axles, 44s front and back. You can get the Team Raffi XJ Jeep body and just bloop, right on there. Done. And I think people love that. They want the opportunity to do some customization, but they also want to make sure that the mechanical side is all covered, and we have that done.
What a great idea. And you know, it's sort of the progression of what we've been doing from, you know, way back when, from the motor forward design to now this. It's what you've been asking for, and we're at a point now where we can produce them and put them out there, and obviously there's a need. So what a great concept. And you know, you have, as you were saying, you have your chassis, you're ready to go, but you can still, you know, be creative and put a body on it and do what you want and be that artist on top and know that you have a sound undercarriage that's going to perform, and it's been tested and prototyped, and so that's a awesome concept.
Look for, you can definitely watch for more and more of those to come up in the factory built section on the website. It's becoming such a popular item now through custom orders and emails that we're going to start to just populate the factory built side to more and more options. Sometimes it takes us a few weeks to put them together. If we don't have everything in stock, we're waiting for axle housings or something like that, but for the most part, we have it all. One of the things we realized we didn't have was really nice scale drive shafts. So now we do.
Oh yeah, I've seen these. These are really well done.
Now we do. We have tiny, very scale drive shafts that are really solid made drive shafts. We will probably someday make them available on the site, but for now we're only selling them in our factory built trucks. This is a really necessary part of the build. We've been using Junfax shafts, as you guys know, for a really long time, and they've been working really well for us. But we wanted something that looked a little more realistic, and so finally we've been able to get these out, and I really like how they turned out. These are tight. They're very nicely made.
You've put them up against some of the other shafts that are out there.
Yeah.
Just as a comparison and more aesthetics. I mean, functionality, they're great. Yeah. But they really, really look the part.
They do.
Really
they look amazing
for sure.
They definitely follow some of the lines of the Boom Racing Super Scale shafts that they've come out with. There's a few lines like that now that look like a realistic shaft.
Yeah.
The difference with ours is that we're doing these drive shafts, everything functionally and tight from 80 millimeters all the way to 175.
Perfect.
So,
perfect.
I mean, you can get a really good looking scale drive shaft to fit all of the different wheelbases that we build, and I think for us that was super important.
Yeah, I agree. And as you say, there's going forward, you're going to have a few more options available.
Yep.
There's going to be so look forward to that. I've always said, and I'll repeat it again, we're always moving, shaking, and doing stuff here, and this is the next evolution, and just wait, because this is going to balloon into something bigger and better, for sure.
Of course, the next kit that you'll probably see on the factory build section is going to be the Range Rover.
Right. Yes.
JS Scale has exploded the internet with their new 2-year designed full ABS hardbody. Opening doors, tailgate, you know, all the important stuff is done. Light buckets. They're in the middle of working on an interior kit. Of course, we already have a proper Range Rover chassis set. Our C-Max Defender kit is almost an exact replica of the Range Rover suspension setup.
Yep.
We have the appropriate shock and coil setup in the front and back. With our partnership with Bauhaus RC, we have radius arm front axle set, proper Toyota style housing in the back. I mean, yeah, it's as legit as Range Rover needs it to be.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, look it up. That body style is one to like for sure.
So that's on my build list.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, and you going to contribute any wheels to that? That setup, you think?
Yeah, we're working with JS right now to actually produce an aluminum bead lock that is GCM reliable and what everybody likes in the appropriate size to match the body. And then we're going to use an insert in the wheel to match the appropriate Range Rover rim for that year.
Smart. Perfect.
So the 1970 5-slot or 5-star sort of 5-bolt style is the wheel that we're going to use.
Okay.
But we're going to do it in a typical GCM bead lock.
Okay, perfect.
You know.
Yeah. Now I've seen the Range Rover, I've seen the body shape and stuff, but I'm not all that familiar. So what era is that?
1970.
1970.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it is, as much as people claim, you know, the Bronco or the Blazer was sort of the first SUV, if you will. Maybe the Bronco is like lower on the list as far as SUV-ish goes because it was a lot more utility.
So more capable?
More trucky.
Okay.
The Blazer seemed to have been a little more SUV-ish, if you will.
Sure.
You know, but the Range Rover, I think that's the first official SUV.
Okay.
I mean, lots and lots of cargo space, comfortable seating, comfortable ride. To me, it's the classic SUV.
Well, look forward to seeing that. That'll be a nice piece that's coming out of JS Scale.
Pretty excited.
Yeah, and they're really, I mean, we have a partnership with JS Scale, as you know, and they're moving and shaking too. They've got a lot of things going on. They're trying to do a lot of things on their end. So I imagine that there's a lot more to come from them. And of course, our partnership with them will certainly a lot more from us. So that's going to be neat.
It's a big body too.
Yeah.
313 wheelbase. Yeah. So that's the big-ish bodies.
Would you consider that a 1/9 then, or?
I think that's actually I don't know. I'd have to measure it.
Yeah.
But it's wide enough to cover up an SCX-10. It's the appropriate wheelbase to fit most I guess chassis that are set up that way in the long wheelbase, like all the 4-door Wranglers, Jeeps that are out there. They're all that. The Axial 69 Blazer they just came out with, that's a huge body too, and it's also 313 wheelbase, so we're right in that wheelhouse with that JS body. But when you think about how much does the axial Blazer body actually cost, right? I think the Blazer kit in Lexan is like $70 or something, and somewhere right around there. You add the roof on there for an extra $30, $40, whatever that's going to cost you. You're at $110, let's say, to $100 to just get the Lexan and the grill work and stuff to your door.
Mm-hmm.
If you throw some paint on that, a couple 3 cans of Tamiya, you're into it for another $25.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's say it's $130, $40, right? By the time you get a painted Lexan 69 Blazer from Axial, the JS Rover is $147.
Wow.
It's a full scaled out replica body with the light buckets, with all the hinges that's required. Everything to make it a functional Class 0, Class 1, full scale truck is in the box for $147.
And it's a hard body.
And it's an ABS hard body,
yeah,
you know, with a 313 wheelbase, so super good fitment, and I think the price is perfect.
And, you know, for those in competition world or circuit world, you know, you're going to get the points for having a hard body, and, you know, so there's...
That's important, too.
You know, for some people that's really important.
Yep.
I over the years I've done Lexan, I've done hard bodies, and you know I kind of prefer hard bodies. They're a little bit easier to paint and work with, and so on and so forth. And I mean they're as durable as Lexan in most cases. But I certainly prefer a hard body. So yeah, price point's amazing.
Yeah,
they're gonna fly off the shelf.
They are. Yeah,
that's good.
So I'm looking forward to building one of those. I'm looking forward to building it on a proper replica chassis too. That's important to me.
Yep.
Because I'm a chassis guy.
Yep.
So now we need somebody, Dion, to make a proper motor.
Yeah. We know someone.
We know a guy.
We know a guy. Yeah, and you've seen it on the channel that 22R or R22. I always mix it up. That one that he weathered.
His Toyota motor is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, all of his motors are amazing,
yeah,
but
he's
then
so talented.
He has a paint and weathered option that you can get directly from his store, and then he'll take the time to do it right. And he is a pro modeler.
He is.
So it's hard to say no to that when it comes that nice.
And you know when I've met him, the one thing that comes to the surface is the passion that he has. Like he'll go to the nth degree to make sure that whatever he's making is absolutely scale, legit, and he backs it all. So he's passionate about the hobby, and his motors reflect that for sure.
Yeah. So pretty exciting, and of course Dion is part of our team GCM, so we lay on him pretty hard to get some of this scale stuff out. Whether he does it or not is up to him, right? I mean, he's in charge of that, but we certainly push the buttons anyway.
Sure we do. And if you need a red toaster for some particular reason, you can do scaled diorama with the red toaster.
Oh man, the red toaster is great. We've had a lot of fun with that in the GCM team page, and you guys haven't seen that, I don't think, but that's he now has it for sale on his Mr. Comedy store. So
it'll be good on a workbench, you know. So I'm sure mechanics eat their toast.
Scale toaster,
working away. Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I have a wheel here. What's going on?
Hey, that's true. So you guys all know that we've been doing the 155 wheels for a pretty long time. They're and we used to do these 1.9 slots. This was a really popular wheel for us, the 1.9 slots. We do the 1.5 mini mag size, but of course moving to the 1.9 size again is something that we're doing in 2019. This is my 3D print of a new Detroit. It's a brand new design. It's an easy lock sort of bolt pattern inside the rim, so there's like huge amounts of space in the back of the wheel for your knuckle and your steering linkage and all that stuff, like huge amounts of space. So this is my prototype. I just 3D printed the new design to see if I liked it. We narrowed the rim quite a bit, so it's not anywhere near as wide as a lot of the 1.9 rims out there, and they will fit your scale tires, I think, probably a lot better. I don't like having a sidewall bulge, so we've changed the actual design of the rim itself and the way that it locks to try to eliminate some of the sidewall bulge and keep the sides of the tire as straight as possible. And it may not sound like much, but you can actually manipulate that a little bit with the rim design. And that's what we're trying to do with these. This prototype, I think, is going to be the right size, so I'm going to start cutting these in aluminum. And then we'll have some 1/9 scale replica wheels back out, which I think will be really important for 2019 builds.
For sure, for sure. And you know, it's all about realism and scale, right? I mean,
yeah,
that particular tire and rim combination looks realistic and looks scale.
Yeah.
The ones that sort of, as you say, sort of bulge out. Well,
yeah.
Does he have a flat tire? You know. So.
I'm all for tire squish.
Yeah, of course.
But you need some terrain to make that happen, right?
That's right. That's
I don't
right.
want it just squished while it's in storage.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I like how these are turning out. Hopefully that'll move us back into the 1.9 market on the wheels really well. Of course, as you guys know, we are always striving to produce in a way that's sustainable. You know, we don't want to jack the price up so high that it's unattainable for anybody, and so we're trying to create manufacturing methods and designs that we can produce in a cost-effective way. And I think that these will do well.
Good, good, exciting, nice.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else for 2019? Any sort of highlights that you think?
You know, we had so much fun last year on the west coast of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Those people have such a passion out there for doing scale RC. I think they really raised the bar quite a bit. The West Coast Vancouver event that we did in BC, British Columbia, and then again we were in Calgary. Those guys just ramped up the scale builds really high.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so thankful that we took the time to go out there and meet all those great modelers out there.
For sure.
Really fun people. Thank you guys for having us to run our GCM event out there, and we're looking forward to doing that again in 19. We're trying to find a venue that hopefully we can do camping and trails in the same facility. Something like what you've seen on our channel from our adventure series, something like what you've seen from our expedition videos. We're trying to find a camping and crawling facility somewhere in Western Canada to book for 2019. And also new for 19 is we're trying to set up our final expedition for 2019 in Georgia at the very beginning of November. So deep south, great weather. That should close off our year, and again it's a facility that we're looking at that will give us the chance for camping and crawling on the same facility, and I think that gives everybody some inexpensive housing, a chance to bring the whole family, which is really important for us, that you can bring everybody and come and have a weekend away from the cities and do some tiny trucking.
Yeah. You know, 2018 there was some old, then there was some new. It looks like 2019 there's going to be some old and some new, and I think that's one of our mottos is that we support some of the events that we've gone to, but we also look forward and strive to find new places and new avenues to go down, and I think that's another theme for 2019. So
it's so true.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how big the scale RC community really is,
and growing.
Yeah. And there's really fine modelers everywhere we go. It's very exciting, and it's actually challenging to us because sometimes you got to step it up, you know, like
absolutely.
Time to get some good paint, you know, time to do the engine bays. It's really time to put the work into the interiors, and you guys and you're showing off your trucks have really amazing. Challenged us.
And yeah, I would like to think that, you know, because we do this, you know, 24/7, that we have some skills, and some of our trucks look good out there. But as you say, we go to these events, and you know, over the years we've been doing this for so long now, and I've said this before, but man, we are challenged. The skill level and the direction that everyone's going, and this particular niche in the hobby, the trucks are amazing. Like I'm jealous of all the trucks out there. They're so good looking. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, some of these have some GCM parts, and what a privilege that is for us, right?
Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah, we definitely are humbled, and we thank you for seeing these awesome builds, and whether it's a set of tires and rims or wheels or a chassis or an axle, you know, to have our bits on it. What a treat, and sometimes, you know, I'm sure you pinch yourself from time to time thinking, wow, this is a neat treat to see this incredible truck with and the talent that people are putting out there.
I'd like to address one issue that I've had on the emails a couple of times now, which is, you know, when are you going to get these parts back in stock? Particularly when it comes to the SCX original truck. Their forward motor kit for that has, we make them now in very small quantities. Mm-hmm. The SCX-1 is pretty much a dinosaur now. There's still a bunch of us out there that have them, yeah, that use them. Some of you guys want to take your original SCX-10 now and move it into the scale truck world with a better interior space and such. And so it says out of stock on the website. The Viterra Ascender parts, the same story with those. We will continue to make them, but they've been bumped down the list on manufacturing. So there's a very small market for those these days, for the Ascender bits and for the SCX-1. And so, yes, we will continue to produce them. And yes, you might have to wait for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you put your SCX on the shelf, and it sat there for 4 years, and then you maybe bring it back down and say, hey, I want to do something with this. And so, yeah, if you get in touch with us, we'll do what we can.
We will continue to service those trucks, but the manufacturing quantities have to be kind of stuck into the gaps in the schedule now instead of becoming a premier product. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to make 100 motor mounts, you know what I mean? We're going to make probably 20 or 30 or something, and then they'll be on the store for maybe a week or two until we have the chance to get more time on the machine to reproduce.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, yeah.
Hopefully that answers some of your questions about our out-of-stock stuff.
I mean, it's a juggling act, right? It's balance from new to old, and what's selling and what isn't, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that makes perfect sense.
If you guys have questions and comments that you'd like us to address on the channel, please put them in the comments section on YouTube. We read all the comments. It's great to see the interaction. If you guys have a video of your own truck or your own build that you want to share with us, put it in the comments. We'd love to see that. Also, look for the links on the video description box. I'll put in links to the events that we went to, that we discussed on this video, and some of the things that we're going to go to next year as well, so you can have a look at those. We'll put up a link for you to get a hold of Dana if you want to talk to him about these 2-scale trucks or ask him any specific questions. Post up on the channel, and we'll try to get you guys connected to whatever answers you need. Sometimes the questions are as simple as, you know, what do you recommend for motor? What do you use in this truck? What do you use in that? So we'd love to help you guys out and provide any information we can. It's interactive for us as best that we can on YouTube. And feel free to send us a message or email the store, and we'll try to get back to you.
And you know, we're certainly been talking about 2019 and the schedule, and we're just sort of coming to grips with that. So you know, look forward to an update as that progresses. And of course, there's going to be some new things out of GCM for 2019. So stay tuned to the channel because there's definitely some exciting things happening next year.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching the video, guys.
Yeah.
And it's really great to have you around. It seems like most people watch these while they're tinkering on their own RC benches, so hope your builds are going well, and we wish you all the best for build season here in the Northeast. And congratulations on surviving 2018.
There you go. Tiny Truck salute.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.